welcome here to TalkFCB and welcome to the final pre-match video ahead of Barcelona against Napoli. We have discussed pretty much everything in the build-up to this game. All that's left now is to discuss exactly what team we may see against Napoli tomorrow at the Camp Nou in what is a make-or-break game for this team, for this coach. We have to deliver. We have to perform. Let's do it. Indeed, kickoff will be coming to us at 9 p.m. local time from the Camp Nou, and here, guys, are the times right around the world, because you know what? You don't want to miss this. The Champions League is back, the feeling is there, the intensity is upon us, and I cannot wait for this game, and I know you guys are absolutely with me. Barcelona here are looking to make it through to the quarter-final stage for the 13th successive season, a feat which no other European team has ever achieved. But believe me, there's work still to do. Coming into this leg, we do have the away goal. I've said all along, Griezmann's goal in Naples, it was absolutely huge, but we've still got to get the job done. This tie remains in the balance. We've got to arrive, we have to be ready, we have to be focused. Not just for 1 minute, not just for one half, but for the entire 90 minutes. There's no room for error. Get the job done. Now, of course, guys, we have discussed over on More Talk FCB earlier on today the words of Quique Setién. He was in confident mood. Sergio Busquets, they're talking about the good training sessions the team has had. And I think right throughout this team right now, they're just looking forward to getting out there, getting out on the field and making it happen. One thing that I do have to bring you, though, is with regards to suspensions. Because speaking there of Busquets, who's going to be unavailable, Arturo Vidal, who's going to be unavailable, what we have to be careful of is losing players ahead of the quarter-final, because Messi, Griezmann and Semedo are just one yellow card away from missing the quarter-final stage, and we also have to be extra careful, because if we can get through this game, if all three of those players can escape the Napoli game without a yellow, those cards then, they're going to be white. They are going to be wiped clean after the conclusion of the round of 16 stage. It's a brand new rule there, brought in by UEFA for this season, so let's keep calm, keep our composure, and make sure everybody is available for the quarter-final we want to be in. And if we do now cast our eyes over the respective squad lists for the two teams coming into this game, starting here with our visitors Napoli, with some interesting inclusions on their side, because Maksimovic there, the centre-back, he was touch and go whether he was going to make this game, and of course their captain and their leader, Lorenzo Insigne, he was injured in their last game against Lazio. It looked really unlikely he'd make this game, but he's in the squad. Big news there. Insigne included for Napoli. And as you can see right there, they've got some excellent players. They've got some really good quality in their team. And even though Insigne is included, let's remember here, it doesn't necessarily mean he's going to play. He may just be there to throw us off, but it doesn't matter, because we will not be distracted. As for Barcelona, the squad list for tomorrow's game reads as follows, with sadly Ousmane Dembele and Samuel Umtiti, both of those players missing out, with Umtiti there out for the rest of the season. With Dembele, though, much more positive signs. He could be back and ready to play in the quarter-final, should we get there, of course. But the great news is, Longley, Griezmann and Ronald Araujo, they're all in the squad. They've been medically cleared, they're absolutely fine to play, and particularly their Araujo, really good recovery from him from that ankle sprain. He's absolutely right to play. And you'll also notice there, several Barcelona B players. You've got Monchu, you've got Mingueza, you've got Conrad, Ludovic Rice, and also Jandro. All of those coming in there from the Barcelona youth teams. They could be involved in a game like this. It's absolutely huge. What an opportunity for some of those guys even to be involved in the occasion of this game. But let's move on now to that all-important selection from Quique Setién and the formation he could choose. Because coming into this game, we have heard right throughout the build-up in the media over the past few days, the past week or so many different variations of what we could see from Quique Setién. And I actually feel as though he's actually kept his cards very close to his chest. He's been quite secretive there in the press conference, as we discussed earlier on More Talk FCB, and also in the training sessions, some of which have been completely behind closed doors. We have heard in the media potentially about a 3-5-2 formation there with a back three and then the wing back fullbacks there pushing on to help us protect potentially against that Napoli counter. But as we've said, it does limit us to just 2 attackers if we go with that approach. We've also heard, of course, about a similar sort of setup to what we saw in that brilliant performance against Villarreal, a 4-3-1-2 with Messi there playing as an outright 10 with 2 of the centre forwards ahead of him on the day. And of course, there's also the opportunity and the chance to see our usual 4-3-3 formation with some genuine width, a wide player out there, most likely in the form of Ansu Fati, with your 3 traditional centre midfielders at Barcelona. And it is going to be interesting to see whether Setién chooses to experiment or whether he sticks with what he knows. Could we see a brand new plan in this game? Because regardless of the formation, regardless of the variation in shape, what we do know is, I feel, is that this is pretty much what we know so far. We know that Ter Stegen will start in goal. We know that providing they're both fit, which they are right now, Longley and Gerard Piqué there will be at the heart of our defence, with Jordi Alba at left back, De Jong in midfield. Not necessarily, it doesn't have to be here in this holding midfield role. He could actually play as an interior with somebody else holding, but we do know he is going to be in that midfield. And of course, Messi, he's most likely going to play central. Even if he lines up over here, we know that he's going to come inside and play in that 10 position. The question is then, who else is going to make up that team? Who is going to force their way into Setién's plans? And what's the best approach to face Napoli? Well, at right back, I would personally opt for Nelson Semedo over Sergio Roberto, and the reasoning behind that would be all about pace. Quite frankly, in that back line, we need as much pace, as much athleticism as we possibly can, because Napoli's biggest threat in this game, by far and away, is that counter-attack. Looking to break, looking to get in behind, to exploit the space of our high line, and the only way you can recover that is really there with those fullbacks recovering that space. You've got Alba, who's lightning quick, you've got Semedo, who's exactly the same. That's why I personally would go with him over Sergio Roberto in that area. Into midfield, I would play De Jong in that holding role. That's where he played at Ajax. That's where he excelled in this competition last season. He deserves a chance in that role. Alongside him, for me, from the start, it has to be Riqui Puig. Now, I can understand people who maybe want Puig to be brought on to have an impact later on in the game with his energy. But for me, I want to start that way. I want to start on the front foot. Take the game from the very word go to Napoli. Don't give them any enthusiasm, don't give them any encouragement. We need the energy, we need the control, and the excitement that Riqui Puig can bring our team. I would start him in this game, and then alongside him, it is tough. You've got Rakitic, you've got Roberto, you could play either of those two in that area. Now, usually, if it was a game like Villarreal, I would certainly go with Roberto. He can give you there a different dimension, he can make forward runs, you know what he can do. But in this game, Napoli are going to be so deep. They are going to pack their defence and defend in a low block, and that's why I would go with Rakitic. I think for me, in terms of playing against a team who are going to sit deep, Rakitic is probably a better bet. And also take into account, we may need some shots from outside the area. I would invite this team, if Napoli are going to sit in there, take on some shots against the goalkeeper, Rakitic. We know what he can do from range, and De Jong, Puig and Rakitic would complete the midfield. And then up front, it's a big decision for Quique Setién. I would love to see Ansu Fati involved, but I just don't really see it happening. I think in a game like this, Setién, he will have been working on something. I think Griezmann has forced his way back into the plans, and I think we're going to see Messi, Suarez and Griezmann. And in a game like this, you need that trio to deliver. You need that trio in whatever way they can combine. We know that it's going to be a different game to against Villarreal. They're not going to have as much space, but when we get those chances, we have to be clinical. And then off the bench, you can use Ansu, you can bring him on there as certainly a completely different option, giving you width out wide and also there giving you that pace later on in the game could be absolutely key. Which brings us now to the moment of truth. I have kept this until this video. It's not been easy, but I have finally got my prediction for you guys. I've said all along that I believe Barcelona have got enough to go through. We are going to find a way to get the job done. And on the night, I'm going to go Barcelona 2, Napoli 0. We are going to keep a clean sheet. We are going to score goals. I'm even going to say it's going to be Messi, and it's again going to be Antoine Griezmann. I would love that result. Anything to get through to the quarter-final. Come on! Let's get the job done. But of course, guys, just before we do end this big video prior to the Napoli game, don't worry, I have not forgotten. It is time now to talk about the giveaway, and it is time to announce the very special winner of the Barcelona away shirt. I have entered every single one of your usernames. Everybody who entered is in the draw. They were then entered into a random generator, and I'm really sad, to be honest, that I can only choose one winner because there were so many brilliant entries. It was great to read your stories about how you first started following Barca, the lengths you've gone to actually keep supporting and keep following this club and watching the games and all of that stuff. It's honestly been a pleasure to read through all of those stories, and the ones you're seeing on screen now, they haven't, sadly, been successful. But this is the thing, it's not just about the winner here, it's not just about giving the shirt away. It has been amazing to get to know you guys better and to read about the sheer passion you have for this club. But, of course, there does have to be a winner, and I present it right here. The winner is a 17-year-old from Jordan whose passion for Barcelona came from his grandfather, who's sadly no longer with us. But what an incredible story, and I'll be contacting you very shortly to arrange your prize, with the shirt set to be on the way to you very soon. But like I say, guys, thank you to all of you for getting involved there over on Flick, and for them for giving the shirt away, and for sure, we're going to be doing more of this. There will be more giveaways, so stick around on the Flick chat. During the game tomorrow, it should be absolutely electric. I can't wait for that. It's time now to take on Napoli, and it's time to win. I will see you tomorrow, guys, over on more TalkFCB, where the lineup reaction will be coming from. Make sure you stay tuned for that. Stay right up to date with everything going on. Thank you for joining me for all of the build-up. But until next time, as always, Visca el Barça!